executive session on House Bill 1447, and the chair recognizes Representative Ball for a motion.
Make the motion of OTP.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, motion is moved by Representative Ball, seconded by Representative Kutab ought to pass on House Bill 1447. Representative Ball, would you like to speak to your motion? You don't have to, but if you want to, you're certainly welcome to.
I would just like to say that I appreciate everyone who came in to speak today, in particular the young lady in the back who brought forward her story. I think it was very important to hear that. I do think that we need to find some way of keeping everyone safe.
All right. Anyone else wish to be heard on 1447? Yes, Representative Tur.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm obviously, or maybe not obviously, but I'm going to vote against the OTP on this bill. Although I think if it does become law, we will see all the joy that we've experienced today play out in every single town and municipality across the state. This mandates that every town shall adopt sex-specific policies. Private entities may, but every town shall adopt sex-specific policies. So if this were to become law, my mind wanders to what this would look like in this debate being had in every, because it doesn't say what policy, it just says they will adopt a policy. And I worry that this will lead to essentially town by town pandemonium and complete inconsistency in the way that people will be treated as they wander across these invisible lines that separate our municipalities. So that is my plea for thinking twice before voting for this. I will also point out that the legislation lists multiple different approaches to dealing with sex, including reproductive systems, your birth certificate, near birth, and a functional Y chromosome. We've heard why those things are not consistent. So just a plea to think twice before actually adopting this.
Yes, Representative Perez.
I'm going to repeat something that this committee has heard for the past 4 years from me. Something that I heard from an elderly gentleman who said, you cannot provide equity for 100% of the people 100% of the time, but it is our responsibility to provide safety and comfort for the majority, especially in sensitive areas.
Anyone else wish to be heard? Yes, Representative McFarland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to ask the chair, and I have some comments on the bill, but I would like to ask the chair if it would be appropriate, given that the motion for OTP is already on the table, to move an amendment to the bill.
I would, no, there's an OTP on the table right
Okay,
now.
that's what I thought you would say. And so this is my commentary. I believe that this bill requires some work. I think that the language of the bill, as it is structured, could lead to inadvertent effects on co-educational facilities, and particularly co-educational sleeping quarters that are either owned or managed or used by the state. And for that reason, I will be bringing forward floor amendment, well, it's currently a committee amendment, but it will be a floor amendment 2026-0864H when this goes to the floor. And I will be supporting that amendment on the floor. That being said, I would sooner that we are able to move this forward and not have further hearings on it. And so I will be voting OTP on this today. And I would ask that when the majority opinion is written, that consideration be given to my comments. And I appreciate that consideration from Rep. Ball or whoever may write the opinion. Thank you.
Right. Yes, Representative Kutab.
Just as a point of clarification, I believe it says that they have to set policies, but it doesn't say that they have to mandate what those policies are. It doesn't say that you can't have co-ed anything. And it sounds like that's what your concern is, but I don't see it saying that it can't be co-ed. Is that your concern?
Follow up, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, the reason for my concern, to be clear, is the language in the bill, and I don't have the lines on the page as to tell you what lines it is, but the language that says the state of New Hampshire and all political subdivisions of the state shall adopt policies, blah, 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 including, restrooms, locker rooms, changing areas, sleeping quarters, based on sex. And then immediately goes on to define sex as meaning either female or male. And I think we all know, especially when it comes to our outdoors here in New Hampshire, that there are facilities in the state that do not have the luxury of having separate sleeping quarters for female and for male. And I do not want to force a circumstance where we designate sleeping quarters as exclusively female or exclusively male when they are currently co-ed. So I don't think that detracts from the overall essence of the bill, but I do think it's something that ultimately needs to be attended to. And as I said, I'll be having a word with the prime sponsor when I'm able to about that amendment. And it's something that only came to my attention during the course of this hearing.
Anyone else wish to be heard? All right. So I guess we're ready then for the roll call vote. The motion made by Representative Ball, seconded by Representative Katab, is ought to pass on House Bill 1447. And I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Vice Chair Mannion,
Yes.
Rep. Alexander.
Yes.
Rep. Tripp,
Yes.
Rep. Andrews.
Yes.
Clerk votes yes. Rep. Perez.
Yes.
Rep. McFarland.
Yes.
Rep. Scully.
Yes.
Rep. Ball.
Yes.
Rep. Birch.
No.
Rep. Smith. No. Rep. Ryan.
No.
Rep. Page.
No.
Rep. Raymond. Rep. Turer.
No.
Rep. Rombo.
No.
Chairman Lynn.
Yes.
10-7.
10-7 OTP. All right. And Representative Ball, could I ask you to write the majority report, and who will write the minority?
Representative
Tur-
ITL, I assume.
Yeah. Unless there's something lower than that.
Minority. ITL. All right. All right. Next, I'm going to